Very good afternoon to you there, my very wonderful listeners. And I want to welcome you to the Situation Room on Mainline 98.3 FM, the Sound of Lagos. My name remains Matthew Kodua. I have my roommates here with me. Muyiwa Adeyemi, you're welcome.
Good evening, Lagos.
Okpeyemi Akinyode, you're welcome.
Good evening, Lagos.
And today, on this special edition of the Situation Room, it is the same day with the National Assembly elections. So much is happening. The PDP has always had the G5 to contend with. That has been the in thing. But at the moment, the Tinubu campaign is complaining of a certain conspiracy theory among some political parties. Well, some of the parties have come out to say no, there was no major talk anywhere. There is violence in Anambra State and so many other news that are not very pleasant. The good news, however, is that INEC says it's ready and most registered voters have collected their PVCs. Alhaji Kwankwaso is in the southwest to try and win the mandatory percentage. That's what he says. In the region to enable PDP has the G5 to battle with. That's the one we are used to. But suddenly, one conspiracy theory tripped us somewhere. The soundtrack we had, Senator Ahmed Tinubu saying they are sabotaging fuel and everything. El-Rufai came up to say yes, he believed that there are some elements in the villa that are trying to truncate the ambitions of Tinubu. Of course, according to reports, the president's wife also supported it. So how does that help us? I mean, how do we come into that area of people talking about saboteurs within the same party?
Well, we are talking politics. And when we are talking politics, we are talking of interest. And especially in this climb, maybe because nobody is value free. In the sense that to say that all APC leaders or members are looking the same direction, no, I think we are not getting it right. Some people know that immediately after Buhari leaves office, maybe they will never enter Aso Rock again with what is happening.
They will no longer be relevant.
They will no longer be relevant. So with those people, you should not expect them to continue smiling when they are counting days that by May 29,
they are out.
The phones will stop ringing. So those people, you cannot underestimate or undermine what they are going to do. But talking of a conspiracy theory here, there can't be fire without smoke. And the politicians know themselves. And in this game, to tell us that a presidential candidate does not know what he's talking about, maybe we just want to listen to him. Tinubu is in the system. He has eyes and ears in Aso Rock. And if somebody, well, let's say theoretically that with 22 governors, with ministers working with him and here and there. Remember, is the leading spokesperson, Keyamo, is a minister in Aso Rock. So they have information, and you cannot rule out, I think, the allegation. I want to put it in allegation. You cannot rule anything out. This is a lot of politics. We know how many of them had presidential ambition.
Seriously.
And this is the only country we saw as a person that the CBN governor
wanted to become president.
At least they wanted to be president. And when some people tried to kick against it, they went to court to say to sense fundamental human rights. At least we sit down as a governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria directing the monetary and fiscal policy of the country, and at the same time expressing interest in partisan politics. I think I've never seen that happening in anywhere. But be as it may, when the court ruled that they had to take one, he backed down. Thousands of vehicles he bought brand. They were trying, they mop up cash. They collected old Naira notes from us and without giving us new one. People are sleeping in banks. People are fighting in banks. Only because of whatever.
There are protests on the street right now.
Apart from protests on the street, I was myself in the Union Bank in Idimu today. They were saying that the maximum they can give thousands of people there is 1,000 naira each. So nobody cannot. I was at the first bank in Ikotu myself to do a transaction. A transaction deducted or received by now from 10 a.m.
or hanging
of network failure. So he keep saboteurs in his government. Well, Nigerians will judge APC for this hardship. Nigerians may not overlook APC. I have found it difficult to use that money to transact
that you made
any business. Again, almost at the same time, if this government for the past 7 years have done a little better in sustaining for subsidy for 6 months, and in a couple of months now, few weeks to election, so scarcity everywhere in the country. So the economy, even people selling now are complaining. Go to POS. I think today I changed 7. They said they can only give me 7,000 naira on POS, and the lady collected 1,000 naira. Even we jumped at it. So if you are now collapsing everything now, so if the man is alleging that some people are conspiring to discredit, if they cannot clean their house, then they should expect the verdict from Nigerians.
Okay, before we move forward, you listen to Muyiwa. I want to believe that you know the reasons behind the theory of the fifth columnist. It is easy for the APC campaign to probably believe that somebody within the villa, because of the power in the villa, is trying to sabotage their campaign. But it's also possible that it's a fifth columnist, who is not in government, who is not in PDP, who has a different interest. Don't you think it's possible?
Well, I think we need to start this way. In the history of this country, the recent democracy that I can understand or study, I've never seen a party demarcate itself as much as the APC is doing at the moment, especially when you know that we have just a little over 20 days to the National Assembly and presidential election first. Then a few days later, we have the gubernatorial and the state houses of assembly. And it's, I mean, we always say jokingly that no matter how difficult things are, that one election is coming. I mean, there's always some form of, soft landing. I mean, there's nothing like false scarcity.
They pretend as if they'll do something.
They'll just do like, yes. I mean, just to give them, so that the people could say positive things about your party.
Good image of the
just to
party.
Build that, even if it's fake, even if it's just temporarily. But I mean, you give them some soft landing. But look at what is happening right now. You ask yourself, how often do you even get fuel? It's not even about having the money now. You won't even have the commodity to buy. It is not even having money in your account now. You won't even have the money to withdraw. You say you want us to do cashless policy, the economy that is so microeconomy that we literally live from hands to mouth. How many people is this policy actually affecting if you say you want to do it that way? Let's put that aside. Now, it's only normal for every democracy that is growing, you would have people that don't necessarily align with the thoughts and the opinion of that particular those dramas. Now, don't forget, the script started in Abeokuta when the APC presidential aspirant, then now the presidential candidate, called out Mr. President openly. And of course, the whole issue of Olule, he cried on TV and all of that. The same Abeokuta was where Tinubu went to say that there's some sabotage that are trying to use fuel scarcity and naira note to sabotage his effort. And don't also forget, 24 hours to the primaries of the APC, the national chairman of the party came out to announce the Senate president as the anointed candidate of the party, of the president. And also don't forget, a week before the APC primaries, President Muhammadu Buhari had a meeting with all of the governors. And one of the things he said was that they choose their successors at the state level, that the governor should allow him to choose his own successor at the national level. Apparently, maybe the governors understood what was going to play out, and they said no, that the power must return to the south, whether southwest or southeast or south. The governors did not microzone. So these are all of the things that are playing out. But the question is this: would you rather want to build or want to destroy the house you've built yourself? Again, what house did the APC build? If you have to look at it from that perspective, Tinubu also made a statement where he said that they deliberately raised the naira to dollar to 800 naira. That if they can think, they will have thought of bringing that and arresting that situation. There's been a lot of statements. Exactly. There's been a lot of statements. Malam Nasir El-Rufai, one of very close ally to Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the governor of Kaduna State, the former FCT minister, also came out to say that one of the things I picked in his line was that the president is intentional about handing over Nigeria in a free, fair, and credible election. He gave this president, but timing, and secondly, there's some sabotage within the presidency. That is an indicting statement. Tinubu is not a member of the opposition party. He's a member of the ruling party. So if you are alleging that, so when we talk about the fifth columnist, it's not just a conspiracy theory. It is the reality that we have on ground. Let me ask you, when Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu came out to say that he would not continue to pay for subsidy for fuel that are being consumed in Niger Republic and Cameroon, he knows what he's saying. It's an indictment on your own government in power, a government you helped to install, a government you campaigned for in 2015, and you did the same in 2019. So I don't think the fifth columnist thing or the sabotage thing is a conspiracy theory. No. For the wife of the president to even share the interview of Nasir El-Rufai on our social media platform shows that somebody somewhere, don't forget the statement of Aisha Buhari when he said there are cabals within the administration of our government a couple of years back. Put all of these things together, all of these statements, all of this body language, put everything together, you see that the fifth columnist conversation is not a conspiracy theory but a reality.
Okay, thank you very much, Okpe. Muyiwa, now before we leave this conspiracy theory thing, look at it this way. Just mentioned about the president's wife earlier in their term, talking about a certain cabal.
Well, it's so obvious with what we are seeing that the cabal is at work. And when we are talking, this is politics, and we are talking of the fifth columnist. Let's look at it this way. There's with what is obvious. We are not members of inner caucus of APC, but it seems obvious that some people in the presidency or are already colluding with their own party, the APC. Call it anti-party, which is so prevalent now in Nigeria,
almost everywhere,
where we don't have party supremacy again. So, but it's obvious, and you know what? And some APC have alleged. I'm not conceding to it, but they've alleged that Atiku has penetrated deep and using ethnic sentiment, religious sentiment, to infiltrate the presidency and to get some things done, and the powers that be. The APC cabal, some APC leaders have alleged Emefiele to be working for PDP. They allege, I'm not saying, and also allege some people in NNPC to be working for PDP. So if they are alleging such, it behoves on those principals to come out clean and explain themselves. Listen, the federal government are still saying that we have enough fuel for the next 3-4 months in this country. Then what happened now to distribution chain? It's not that you don't have fuel. They have fuel. And I read in paper today, I'm not sure how true it is, that within 24-48 hours, the queue in Abuja are subsided.
That they pumped about 67 million liters.
So, did they just import this 67 million liters yesterday? So, if they have now tried to quickly go and solve the problem in Abuja, what happened to the problem in Lagos?
Maybe it's one after the other.
Do you understand? But this fuel they pumped to Abuja left Lagos shore, because all the badges came to Lagos straight.
Exactly.
So it's from Abuja they pump to Abuja now.
From Lagos.
It's from Lagos. So if you now bypass Lagos, God knows I bought fuel at 400 per liter yesterday in this Lagos. After spending 3 hours in the queue just a vehicle before mine. I think the manager just came around 4 o'clock and shot the station that no station. I was already at the pump, one vehicle in my front, and just shot the says they've closed for the day. 2.5 hours wasted. But if Abuja could get supply, then what wrong with what happened to Lagos? And why are they just getting supply now when somebody cried out that you were doing all this thing deliberately? So that is the problem. But the Emefiele supposed to be an expert. Forget that maybe whether was a presidential aspirant or not. He's supposed to have common sense. Sorry if I have to say that.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay.
You mop up old currency and refuse to release new ones.
That's what you call this. What you call the law of intelligent action. I mean, it has been part of my philosophy of life. The law of intelligent action states that you identify a problem and weigh all the options of solution, and the one you take must solve it. Okay, now, if the president has vowed to leave a legacy of free and fair elections for Nigeria, and at the end of the day, it's discovered that too much slush fund outside will help the politicians to buy votes. I'm talking about the timing now. And at the end of the day, somebody said, Mr. President, in this your promise to leave free and fair elections in Nigeria, you have to stop the politicians from buying votes. How do you do that? Remove the money they have. Don't think it's possible. It's a strategy to ensure that the politicians are,
they are starved of
they're starved of funds to buy votes. Then two, the bandits that are carrying people hostage now, and you are saying give me 20 million, you're on your own. The person will not get 20 million. That also makes it very difficult for the bandits to start kidnapping people anyhow. Don't you think these are fine excuses for the money thing? Because these two things, just these two things, are they not enough for that kind of action?
Well, I think we need to set the record straight. Well, we don't have anything against the policy of the CBN. I mean, this is not the first government that would introduce new Naira notes. Even on
we're actually looking at the timing now.
I'm coming. Under the former administration of President, when it was still the military head of state, there were new Naira notes introduced. Even under former President Goodluck Jonathan, where the new 100 Naira bill was introduced into the market. So it's not particularly new. But the timing for me is not even such a problem anyways. What happened is that the deadlines being attached with the timing is the issue for me. We've seen countries around the world change their currencies, and they would kill when the queen died, and they had to change the currency because the image of the king had to be on the pounds. And it gradually, it's moving. Policies are meant to make the people's life better. Policies are supposed to be pro-people. And when the people that you are making policies for, they have issues with these policies. When the people constantly complain about the 1st of February by 31st of January, and that's exactly one of the reasons why all of these problems persisted in the first place. We're not saying the good things don't follow the new that it's torn, you can't use it for a transaction, it's dirty, it's smelling. You have these funds, the money is trackable, anywhere they use it you can trace it. Let us move this blame a little away from the government. I'm sure you have seen videos, you have seen pictures where people are spending these new notes not just in pieces, in bundles at social events.
Where did they get it from?
I remember last week Friday on this show, I told people that when you go out this weekend, if you go for a regular, come and sell to the people. These same people will sell for you, and then you spray it at the party. Last week Sunday, I wanted to use the POS. The woman told me that for old notes, it remains 100 for 5,000 naira. But for the new notes, it is 1,000 for 5,000. So I asked her, I said, why? She said they were also buying the money from the people and they are not getting it from the banks.
Can you imagine?
So the question I want to ask is this: all of these monies going to these social gatherings, are they getting it from the CBN? No. These monies have been brought down to the banks. Now, somebody called me this afternoon on my way to the office and said he spoke to a branch manager of one of the old generation banks, and the person said even she has shared all of these monies. So let me tell you where that takes us to. The same people that were trying to prevent from having access to this money, they own these banks.
They own this bank.
They have shares in these banks. Their boys are the heads of these banks. So the monies are still going back to them.
Their boys or their loyalists.
So that their loyalists could also be their boys. They have because old new notes. Now the problem we even have is that even the old notes is not even available anymore, because they heard now that even beyond 10th of February you can still return those monies to the banks
within 1 week, just
within
1 week.
that 1 week.
1 week.
So if somebody comes out to say they are sabotage, it's something that we could have ethically involved or not, but look at what we have right now. Somebody will wake up, there's no money for them to spend. Not that they don't have monies, but imagine in this country where naira now is scarce more than even foreign currencies, dollars and pounds. It is easy for you to get dollars in this country than for you to get naira. That's the truth.
So let me shock you. I think some towns within the neighboring countries, there are all these towns.
All these towns neighboring those French-speaking countries,
border towns.
they are using foreign currencies in this country.
That's what they're using CFAs.
Anyway, that is it for that. At the end of the day, the elections will come and go.
Yes.
And we will be who we are.
Had been now.
Yes, now. Okay, now, state of the parties, we have about 18 political parties just need for the elections. And I think so 16 people have presidential candidates. Who are they? Can you read it and let us hear?
Well, we have the Accord Party, we have the Action Alliance, we have the African Action Congress, we have the African Democratic Congress.
Mention their names. Let's know their names.
Okay.
Yes.
We have Imumole Christopher of the Accord Party. We have Al Mustafa Hamzat of the Action Alliance. I'm sure that name doesn't sound, alien to a lot of people.
Yes.
We have Omoyele Sowore of the African Action Congress. We have Kachiku Dumebi of the African Democratic Congress. We have Sani Yabaji Yusuf of the Action Democratic Party. That's the ADC. Then we have Tinubu Bola Ahmed of the All Progressive Congress. That's the APC. We have Umuedi Peter Nnana of ABGA. And of course, we have OJ Princess Chichi of Allied People's Movement, APM. We have Nnamdi Charles Osita of the Action People's Party, that's the APP. We have Adenuga Sunday Oluwafemi of Booth Party, that's the BP. We have Obi Peter Gregory of the Labour Party, that's LP. We have Musa Rabiu Kwankwaso of the New Nigerian People's Party. We have Osakwe Felix Johnson of the National Rescue Movement. We have Abubakar Atiku of the People's Democratic Party. We have Abiola Lateef Kolawole of the People's Redemption Party. And we have Adebayo Adewole Ebenezer of the Social Democratic Party.
So those are the 16 parties that have their candidates in the presidential race. Now we are looking at just about 3 weeks to go. How far have they gone in the campaigns? How many states are left for the major parties who are actually doing the campaign? I'm talking about the open campaign now.
Let's be sincere with ourselves. Election is not child's play in this country.
Yes.
It's logistics alone is big. The security, the sound, all of the things you would share during campaign, the face cabs, most of those things, of course, they get donated by party loyalists, people that really want to push you to serve the people. It takes a lot of money. I mean, let's even begin from the nomination of interest form of some political parties where as high as 100 million.
Only.
That's a lot of money. So now, you said only action and their involvement with the people. The APC is the ruling party. They have about 22 governors. They have the FCT minister.
Have they covered?
No, that's what I'm saying. They have them. I mean, you've seen Bola Ahmed Tinubu literally cover the length and breadth of this country, maybe once or twice. Twice, maybe. You've seen Atiku Abubakar today is in Kano, tomorrow is in Sokoto, it's in 14 days. He had focused so much on the northern states. Sokoto, he started from Plateau State, he went to Sokoto, he had been to Katsina, he has been to Kano. I mean, we've seen that. Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso is in Lagos. He's been in Lagos since yesterday. He was at Agege yesterday to address his loyalists. He's still in Lagos today. He's been giving press conferences, been around. Why I said it will be difficult for you to use the same yardstick is that all of them don't have the same budgets. They don't have the same financial war chest. Besides, now this is, whether you like it or not, some people may not feel comfortable with this. This is where structure comes in. There are some places you probably would not be able to visit as a candidate but your structure, your name, your party, you have a candidate that's already selling the name of your party. And don't forget, on election day, the name of the candidate will not be on the ballot. It is the name of the political parties and their logos that will be on the ballot. So some of these candidates have covered everywhere. Even before the primaries, while they were doing consultations, they visited everyone. They visited emirs, they visited presidential candidates from Lagos. he has choose to keep his campaign just in Lagos. Whatever he's able to get, he will be on the ballot. That he was not an aspirant, he was a candidate of a political party. We saw that played out in 2019. While Atiku Abubakar had 11 million, Buhari had 15 million. Some candidates had 1,900 as presidential candidates. So for some of these candidates, I'm not trying to discredit some of these parties. They cannot even fund the party structure in their own state.
Okay,
Being a presidential candidate means that ideally you should have.
You come from one person. You should come from the party.
The constitution, even the electoral act, expects the party to fund these campaigns. But you and I know who owns.
During the week, there was this noise which I call rumor or whispers that mergers. We have seen between yesterday and today some parties saying no, we're not involved in that. You and the small party, but
talking of combination of numbers
among the four parties, the big four.
25, I mean, let's say 12 or 13 hours to election. People can use it. People can. I think the register may not
approve that.
May not approve that.
Should be alliance.
Yes, should be alliance. Because when I'm talking of margin, that we are talking. Don't understand? I'm saying because I cannot step down for you. You cannot. That's something we are negotiating again. But we can negotiate minutes to give me governor. I will take a House of Rep in this state. We can't say that one again.
Not possible.
Do you understand? So, but I can step down for you, on certain conditions. So we have to be very careful with the way we use these terms.
Merger or whatever.
But there's nothing, as I said, nothing stops anybody. It's a free choice. So nothing stops anybody to say, "Well, I'm stepping down from Mr. Okodua," and apart from all these lower and the smaller parties, talking of the major parties, who are the major parties we are talking about? To be realistically, we can talk of three parties as major. Because anybody talking of a Kwankwaso's party as a major party is just trying to add up to number. You understand? This is a party that I don't see it at least raising any finger beyond the Kano and one or one other
maybe
states.
Some numbers in
believe what I'm talking about, but if truth must be told with this level of politics, you see figures. Do you understand? Practically, Tinubu is G3 of Atiku. You can see that in the speech. Anywhere he goes,
he must bring down.
Whenever he's on stage and he gets to talking of PDP, you see it all over his name. What I'm saying is that they know where they size themselves up. They have their strategy.
They know each other's strengths and weaknesses.
They've done their SWOT analysis. So you see them badly talking of the third one. Be to their own peril, right? But we are talking of what I'm saying. This is my personal option. As it is now, the concourse in Lagos, you listen magic of this century. If by February 25th, he has doing his work, as going around few states to campaign, very few states to campaign.
This one, he said he to win the presidency.
You know what the man was just rely upon is that he will South generally.
Even in Southeast.
You understand? Even Southeast, who is a NNPP chairman in Lagos State? One of the rep candidates they have. I'm not in Agege that will give them the 25% in this population. Let's know what is if you let me more factual. We are what he has not said is going to match.
But then
people are thinking for
a runoff.
Yes,
that they could negotiate with interest.
You know what? It's waiting for runoff.
You know what? Runoff. You'll have seen your strength.
You have the numbers you had in the first election.
If you are getting less than 1 million votes. Do you understand? What talk do you want to say?
The negotiation power will be low.
15 million election. The dynamics will change. This is not parliamentary. Because by the time you off the radar, does not everybody that voted for you the first time vote for you. That religious
sentiment
will not be there again. So, but even if you step down, if it's parliamentary, you understand, you can shift it.
Okay. Thank okay. Let's move a little further. We are still looking at the state of the campaigns all over the place. Let's come back to the GIFs. It was one of my business people. Then I called back. Oh, my name is blah 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 blah. I understand it now. And we in these G5 states, I want to look at the possibilities and the difficulties in PDP, for instance, in Rivers, saying from A to Q, vote for PDP, then Q to Z, Another party, that kind of thing. Then Benue, the same thing. Now you look at Anambra. Is it Anambra?
Enugu,
Abia.
Abia.
That somebody died. Somebody died.
Epiazu, Ikone died. Professor
Now,
Ikone died.
something has cornered that person. They want to resign. That we
He's the
endorse
one
that
that will
person.
endorse that person.
Sorry, you know what? Let me tell you something. The ran away from the zone in Nabia, I think, with this shatter, which yes, ran away from it initially, and which did not recognize, is now looking at it now. But is it with the national PDP? National PDP will bring the list of the delegates. National PDP will INEC, and he is now with G5, right? Is well, I think it is one of those things you face.
Very unfortunate. What I was how possible will it be for one governor to tell, say, 400 and something voters, to vote for candidates A to Q and change to the election when
points?
Yes.
Wike is a master of the game, and
the old game.
I'm coming, and he seems to have a fair control of electorate in Rivers State, to be realistic. And there is one governor can tell you that, where I'm sure of having up to 1.5 million votes in Ekiti. Constant. You can check. The problem in my eventually face, and which is going to face, is that for anybody to tell that day of the day of election, and a voter will be given 3 ballot papers. One for presidential election, one for the Senate candidates. All what you are going to have there is the party logo. That we want to read House of Rep and read Senate and identify from. You have to go into serious tutorials. You understand? Or we beg INEC to write some in their dialect. And in Rivers State they have query dialects different from Calabari, right? So we have about up to 5 or 6 different dialects in River State. This is the labor are facing, and that's why the man that I think promised heaven and earth by before January ending, they are going to know where we are going. And the man still kept quiet. I think he hasn't mentioned this. I think
but yesterday he said his people know.
Today somebody was.
Today somebody second.
And let me quickly report something to you. I think the governorship candidate, Jando. He said they cannot in the Republic. He dared them. And I thought, but the man kept quiet and the January ending has gone. We announced February 2nd. When such things happened, right? Everybody at Surrogate moved and contested in their new party. But the
party you are working against.
And you are still saying you are working against that party.
State of the campaigns and one thing I know, my people say, no matter it's coming, and it will hold.
Yes,
that's what we have been told. Now, we've been crying and singing about violence. Anambra own. How do we look at violence across Nigeria?
Things to the composition of the G5. The composition of the G5 from the start have been faulty. All of them have different interests in this election. Seyi Makinde is contesting for second term. Otom in Benue, the candidate of the APC in Benue for him. The governor of Abia State, he has. If you look at that state,
he has free ticket to London and Spain.
He should enjoy that ticket and just leave politics for the people that knows how to play politics. But you're looking at Nyesom Wike's agitation on the G5 did not come with deep intentions. It came as a fallout of the PDP primaries. So if you say you are putting all of the G5 in the same box, you are making a mess of yourself. At the end of the day, everybody would have to hold their head. Seyi Makinde knows that there's fire on the mountain with his opponent in Oyo State.
Yes.
And so everybody is putting it out. Wike has nothing to lose. He's going to leave the government house. He has already put the immediate past accountant general of the state as the PDP candidate of his party. So that is fixed. He has already pushed his serving deputy to the Senate. So all of that has been sorted out. So Seyi Makinde knows that as long as the G5 continue to exist, it's going to affect his own political interest. So I don't know if the G5 is the G5 now. I don't know, maybe it's now G2
they should better
or G1 or G nothing at all. Now let's talk about violence in the election.
Okay, now include the violence in Lagos on the 28th.
Yes.
We are looking at
two-party system we used to have. I mean, as against what we had before, you can literally wake up and calculate that, okay, I'm going to win 16 states, my opponent is going to win 19 states, and then we'll move on from there. But now there's the country's modern democracy where we've talked about anticipating a runoff of a presidential election. We've seen this play at the National Assembly election, some states. But that means that the third force cannot be dispensed easily, like of violence everywhere. On the issue in Lagos, in October last year, the day Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu returned to Lagos from Abuja after picking the APC primaries, part of the PDP in Lagos joined us on ballot on Monday, and it's how crazy it is. So for somebody to wake up and think, okay, election and post-election,
yes,
in 2015, I was in the north pieces. I don't think that is a system we want to encourage in this election. So politicians, INEC can only campaigns in this country. I want to see the boys in those buses. So anybody can come out and point accusing fingers to the other part. It is because it was you that was continuing to do this citizen sensitization. They continue to talk to the people. It is the rain. If you look at the body language of typical city, have masters and wait to contest for councillorship, they will tell you it will soon be the turn of you get into office. You become Lord acting on. Imagine when you talk to your supporter that if you put that mindset in the mind of your supporters and the results start trickling in on the day themselves.
Okay, thank you very much. We are gradually moving to, and the number you are going to call is 09136. That will be your contribution. And please, as always, make it brief, just 60 seconds, and very decent. See you after.
Let's save Nigeria, so Nigeria.
With our conversation, it's time for us to hear your contributions. And myself, we have been looking at the fuel scarcity, how it's going to affect the elections and all that. Language be decent. So the number is 0913 6010. You are welcome. Thank you, Patrick. You are welcome.
Yeah, I want you to give holidays to all the high movers in bundles to go and do, because they can mobilize.
Hello. Okay. I think
Why they were at home during the strike.
So if they are not as good, that means a whole good number may not be counted. Yes, hello.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, thank you. My name is Ben Osman. I am calling from Ben Osman.
Okay.
My I was a little boy, I remember when they say that nobody is above the law of the country, especially a particular competent court of jurisdiction, or even award any little punishment to them. In every country, the interest of the people friends that the leader carry in their heart. But in the case of Nigeria, it's not like that. Why? And the President Muhammad Buhari, do they have the interest of Nigeria at heart at all? And if they are not above the law, if they are equal before Nigerian law, at least 2 of them should be arrested. Nigeria are passing through pain.
Okay, thank you very much.
50,000 and pay 5,000 in your own country. What kind of nonsense is that?
Usman, thank you for your contribution. You have made your point.
Okay, good evening. This is Ben. I'm back. I can't let it end. Tomorrow I will need something from you so that I can fill your time, please. This election that I need to say is already advertised. Nigeria already make up their mind. Nigeria already know where they are. Nothing can tell you what is going on. The sabotage and the sabotage, this election is gone. As well as it's winning it openly and clearly. You got to see the result. You got to supply them.
Good evening.
Hello, good evening.
My name is Joshua.
Yes, I can hear you.
They want us to die in hunger. Thank God that myself, I'm into trying
To eat now.
Hello, Joshua.
Hello? Are you?
Hello. Winning a presidential election in Nigeria is always very easy.
Actually, maybe you need to move away a little from where you are. Your line is
okay, I'm on the road. Okay.
Hello?
You're welcome, Victor.
Hello, Victor. Victor on the line.
Victor, you're welcome. From where are you calling?
Promotion.
Okay, Victor.
It will not be okay. But that is the part of advert for people anyway.
I guess you know that.
No.
Because it's coming. It's coming. People is coming.
Thank you.
Hello? Hello? Hello?
Emeka.
Yeah. The issue in this about is it today that we are buying $800 naira. Tinubu said that it should reduce people purchasing power. They have done that. We obey his instruction. We say an agreement of Nigeria. So that we will go back. People, I asked somebody today, I said, why do you want to go to Tinubu? It's just for his clearness. He told me that Tinubu will be today. Nobody is sabotaging anybody. They destroyed Nigeria economy in 2015. You understand? If you think like they have done better, it's in borrowing, which every person will suffer to pay. So all these people believing that Tinubu is gone because of this weekend.
Emeka, you have made your point. Thank you. Hello?
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, my name is Peter Joseph. The only thing of friends in Nigeria today are stand on our ground. I will make sure that all the
Hello?
Hello?
Hello, yes. Good evening.
Good evening. This should be coming from Ikeme when APC supporters are behaving like opposition. When we, the obedient people, are supposed to be behaving like opposition. OPC people have their country to call and be calling Labour Party. And because, let me tell you something. Some people, they can't even reason. They can't read the handwriting on the wall at all. In the problem. Thank you very much.
Well done, Obi. How are you? Okay. Hello.
Hello? Yes, my name is Wajo. I'm Elder.
Oh,
I'm calling. Hello.
Eda, you are welcome.
Yes, I've been keeping watch, listening to your conversation and all the radio that is in Lagos State as FM. I've been listening. God knows the fault.
Thank you.
After I'm 15, that this government is doing this time, and the Nigeria is fighting. When this people feel, where is this people? I'm not at the
Hello. You're welcome.
Yes, I'm there. But just 4 months ago, I want to create this confusion. Is it talking for Mr. President?
Which
That's the money amount for subsidy. Now we are now paying another subsidy. Where are we heading to? That's why I say, Mr. President, he has no. By certainly point to Mr. President, are you the number one? Yes, Central Bank governor can never tell Nigeria today that the money he says that the money is enough for Nigeria. So what are we talking about? The way those who share money at the party, the way they are you do your work accordingly like that, respect you. Now people are suffering. My money is in bank.
Thank you very much for
People in the studio, please tell Mr. President to change his mind now and pray for Nigeria. Not
Thank you.
Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah. My name is from Songo.
Eric, you're welcome.
You're welcome.
I just want to say, those people we call and their contribution is not constructive.
Nobody has insulted Tinubu. Nobody. Sorry, can I quickly correct that? Nobody has insulted Tinubu today. Dating for this election.
So I understand. But why is that the only Tinubu they are always referring to?
Because he's on top.
What Tinubu is doing?
Hello? It's off.
Yeah, thank you very much. I need to tell people to just take it easy. Be it APC, PDP, or elections. Since 1999, some facts have always stood out. One, you must win 25% of 24% before you become president. Kano, Kaduna, Katsina, Lagos, Rivers, and Oyo State. Can your candidate win at least 3? If your candidate cannot win at least 3, then they are just waiting. If you argue back and forth here and there, the facts are clear on the line. They are clear on the ground. So I was enjoying my people to sit down, look at these things critically, and I thought we were going to win the midterms wide and clear, able to win the House of Reps. And that's how funny politics works. The people just speak what they feel they want, and all these things stand across structures, across beliefs, across religion, across a lot of things comes into play. It's not just straightforward. Oh, how much are we buying Gary? We are not buying. How much are we buying fuel? We are not buying. It doesn't work that way. Thank you guys. You have a great day.
Thank you very much, Olakunle.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I'm back.
You're welcome.
Please, what I'm trying to say is that
What's the name? Sorry, remind us of your name again.
Emeka.
Okay.
Those foundational vote has gone. If you check 2019 election and 2015 election and check how those elections was, we are talking of a two-party election. It's no longer a two-party election. One person will win Kano. Atiku will win Katsina. Atiku will win Kaduna. What is the place he will win? Down south to here, P2B will win River State. He will either win Lagos or come second here. What? Sure, you can see that the narrative has changed. It's no longer a what. If you check the result of the whole election that passed, what the normal PDP normally used to the APC here or APC to PDP, it's about 50,000, 100,000. With 100,000 determine who become president of Nigeria. And then it was two-party. So, and you see a candidate going to campaign grant, insulting presidential. I know that people are sentimental about let my person win. People of Katsina were celebrating that they are about to let their person. It's not that even if he's there, even if he's sleeping, even if he's abroad, you can't reap okra. Nigeria is almost running broke. You understand? All these things Emefiele is doing is because we have the people that are in the system. That's what, just like a one man playing defense, playing attack. One person. That's what had it been. The other agencies of government are doing what they're supposed to do. Believe you me, that first day they are different and not happened. Emefiele will not be everywhere. He has done his own as a person. He depends on other people to push it. So they have not sabotaged. This is issue of fuel scarcity. We have been facing fuel scarcity for a long time.
You have 5 seconds.
We started from 2015. Yeah, runoff.
Thank you very much. Thank you for
That
contributing.
is my own conclusion.
Well done. Well done. Hello. Hello.
Hello. Yeah. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, George from Yaba.
Thank you, George. You're welcome.
Okay. You see, it amazes me sometimes now. It's like APC supporters, they're behaving like opposition now. Nothing like Buhari. Do you remember the first statement Buhari made of the day of his inauguration? People have forgotten. He said, "I'm for everybody,
and I'm for nobody."
I'm for nobody. It seems like people have forgotten this thing. Right from the day of that particular 2015 election, Buhari just want to use all these people to influence himself into that. He don't want, right from that, he don't want this particular man to be president. And it's because of him, he's simple. Thank you very much.
Thank you, George. Hello.
Good evening, Mr. Park.
Good evening.
This is Abdulrahman calling from Tinkan Island.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
You know, this they cannot win election. They are coming up to say they can win election.
But INEC registered them now.
And they cannot even go and campaign for the people they are vying for to win election. Have there been a political rally? No. Have there been a town hall meeting? Just to go campaign, their candidate to win election. I will tell them the political class their candidate belongs to. We have the like of Professor Papu Tommy. We have the late Kanita Owini that jump from activist to politician. We have the like of Tunde Bakari that scored zero votes at belongs to, and they can never win election. Come Jesus Valley in the they are always using this radio station as a campaign station. They can't win anything. If they do that election 10 times, there are parties that cannot win anything. We know who they win, so we make leave it like that.
Thank you very much, Mr. Abdulrahman. Yes, hello.
Hello?
Hello, yes, you are welcome. Last caller.
In this country is not going to be, what we used to know. Things have really changed. You understand? And for anybody to be 100% certain about his candidate emerging, I don't think the person will need to really study what is going on right now. Things have changed. We have, unlike the two, PDP, APC, now we have 4 major parties, and all of the 4 are very strong in their regions. So that is what it is now. And I want to believe that if we are to go by, the campaigns, things we are hearing from the candidate, if you ask me, I think the Labour Party have an upper hand. It seems to be, physically, mentally strong, issue-based. You can see how he's addressing issues during campaign. And now we have seen the direction they use, the obedient movement is basically about the youth.
James, you have
10
seconds to round off. Thank you very much. Well, that's the last call we have today, and okay. Well, we'll quickly round off in 10 seconds.
Yeah, I think we just need to understand something that with or without any people's opinion, this come to go. This is not going to be the end of this country,
and there will be a winner,
and there's always going to be a winner, and the loser doesn't have to be a bad loser after all. I mean, the headquarter of G5 started with agitation. Now it looks like we have G0 or G units or whatever G that is here now.
G1. Okay, so thank you very much. That's all we have for today. We are drawing the curtain for today. This thing, you join us on Sunday on political platform, political roundtable at 6 p.m. on Sunday, and on Monday, tomorrow we still have situation.
We have situation by
4 p.m.
where
will be here to continue. So follow our programs, study political programs. We are here. I will be with you. So thank you for being with us today. My name remains Matthew Kudwa. See you and thank you.
We know everything that goes wrong because we are part of the government.